This woman was sent to prison in 1873, and today I will tell you her story. Eliza Ayres was born in 1845 in Bicester, Oxfordshire, to John Ayres and Elizabeth Timms. She was one of 9 children born to the marriage. In 1857, she was in trouble with the law. She was just 12 years old, as she was charged with stealing a quantity of onions, the property of Mr. Jonas Paxton. She was seen leaving his garden about 7 o'clock with the onions under her apron. She was sentenced to 1 week's imprisonment. By the age of 13, she was working as a domestic servant, but a year later, in 1860, she was in trouble again. The report said Eliza Ayres, 14, servant, was charged with stealing a shilling, the property of David Sims, her master. She was sentenced to 2 months hard labour. In 1866, she had a son George, but in 1869, she was in trouble again. She was charged alongside Emma Hunt with stealing a quantity of turnip tops belonging to Mr. Jones, farmer from a field at Bicester. Mr. Jones not wishing to press the case, they were discharged with a caution. In 1870, she had a daughter Emily, and in 1871, we find her living with Felix Parker. She is listed as his boarder. In 1872, she was charged alongside Felix Parker and her brother George with selling a bushel of wheat, knowing it to have been stolen. They were all sentenced to 2 months hard labour. Later in the same year, she was charged with stealing a cloth jacket, the property of W.E. Hitchman, draper of Sheep Street. This time, she was sentenced to 3 months imprisonment with hard labour. She had a daughter Hannah in 1873, Elizabeth in 1874, and James in 1876. In 1878, she was fined for failing to send her daughter Hannah to school. In 1879, she lost a child at 6 weeks old. The inquest said the child died of natural causes, and a verdict of death by the visitation of God was given. The inquest explained how Felix Parker had lived with Eliza for 9 years. The child was his, but they were not married. In 1880, Felix and Eliza finally married. A son Felix was born in the same year. A daughter Jane was born in 1884, and finally Henry in 1887. She was charged alongside Henry Bentley and her daughter Hannah with unlawfully damaging Cale with the intent to steal. They were all fined 8 shillings 2 pence. In 1891, she was fined for stealing swedes. She was fined 1 shilling with 11 shillings costs. In 1894, she was fined for damaging mowed grass, and in 1898 for using obscene language. In 1908, she was fined for stealing 56 pounds of coal. Her husband passed away in 1918, and Eliza entered the Bicester Union Workhouse, where she passed away on the 1st of May 1919, aged 74. The cause of death, cerebral apoplexy. She was buried with her husband in Bicester Cemetery. So rest in peace, you will be remembered.